Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Milou and I'm here with a flip through for you today. Today is the 7th day of this mini marathon, so it's the last day, and I decided to show you what I made in my journal in August. I told you in my previous journal with me video that I changed up my documenting in my traveler's notebook, so I will try and show you here. I had some busy days in August and I had some trips, so there are a few pages which I still need to finish, and I will show you in a bit. So yeah, I hope you will enjoy this. So this is where my August starts, and like I told in my journal with me video, I changed up my journaling, and what I changed is that I try to journal every night before I go to bed, and that's what I did here. I try and prep my page beforehand and then journal a lot. So this day is without pictures, it's just journaling with some watercolors, some Nuvo Crystal clear drops, and some collage elements. Then the second day I also did the background with some watercolors, and I used a stencil and draw the inside of the stencil to make a little bit more elements. And here also collage sheets, and I made a tip-in of vellum. I used some elements from a magazine to put on there, and here I included a picture. And the back, because vellum is see-through, I colored in the back of the elements and just made them in doodles. So yeah, here I have another page. I used some watercolors, some stamps, some paper and elements, and I included the pictures of this day with a tip-in. And on the back I wrote more journaling. I had a lot of journaling to write that day. Here I changed it up. I did it on the couch, and I tried and used some brown. It's not a color where I go for if I may choose, but I like it actually. And I doodled this girl. It's a weird girl. And I just included some vellum, some washi tape, and with my clean color brushes, that's the word, I made some dots, and I circled around it with my pencil. And like you can see in multiple pages, I do a border around it to compare it, to make it in a, yeah, how do I say, to don't let it fall off the page, make it a whole instead of just apart things. Sorry, my head today is like, I cannot say what I want to say. More watercolors, and I use some paper elements to make my page a little bit less boring. And here I didn't use any watercolors. I doodled a border around it, and I just cut out these cactuses for a tip-in. And I included the cactus over here and a little picture of the day. And here's what I was talking about. I was away on a trip for a few days, and I prepped my pages already, but I did not have time to journal. So here I drew a picture, and well, it's still waiting for the journaling. And the same over here. I went to Antillian Festival, and I prepped my pages, like I said. I did here too and there too, but I didn't have time to journal. So that's still waiting for journaling and pictures and stuff like that. I came back on a Sunday and I started journaling again on Wednesday. I needed some time to recover. So here I talk about a few days. So that's why there's a lot of writing and not much of embellishments. I used my zig color brushes and some watercolors, some distress inks, and you see my washi and stuff around here. Here I doodled this girl and I used some black acrylic paint to make her stand out a little bit more, and I let the black paint come back over here, and I just doodled a border and some journaling. Here I tried to use some collage elements, and this pretty pattern, it's just a dress from a magazine. You cannot see that it's a dress over here. I made sure of that, and I just torn it out and put it in my paper and made the different kind of layers. And I included this card with as a tip-in with a picture of me and the same dress. I really love the colors and the pattern. So yeah. Here I used a lot of watercolors in the background. I doodled something, I used some washi tape, and here I cut out some flowers from scrapbook paper and I doodled the leaves and stuff like that. And this is actually my favorite page since I started this kind of journaling. I knew I was going on a trip and I saw this girl in a boat ride actually, and I saw this girl in a magazine and I was like, oh, I really want to use her. So I fussy cutted her out and stuck her in my journal. I used some watercolors, some tiny word stickers, washi, and I made a tip in here with the picture, and I wrote down the names because I didn't know all of the girls, and in a few years I may not remember what their name were. So I thought, let's write it down. Here's another day. I was very busy and I didn't have time to journal. I did something in my next journal of September, because it's September now, to make sure I don't have blank spaces. If I don't have time, I try to include 2 pages in once and then work like that instead of wanting a page a day and then leave it blank because I don't have time and I don't want to get behind. So yeah. But I doodled, I wrote a little bit of journaling, and I started drawing. You cannot see it probably, but yeah. It's also waiting to be finished. This is another page. I was inspired by Little Raven ink and I made some different journal boxes. I doodled around them and then just wrote some quotes, some things about that day. And I used my watercolors to give a little bit color to the page. And this one is also inspired by Little Raven ink. I doodled a girl. And I actually made this page in train and at the station. I drew the girl and I made some doodles and stuff like that, and I included my picture. And this one, my tip-in is made with some dilution ink sprays. I did that at home. And the watercolor I did at home, but the rest of it I did in the train. So it's a good thing if you're on your way to take your journal and take some supplies. I will make a video about what's in my pouch for on the road, and yeah, then you can prep your page and make sure it's done and ready for journaling when you come home. That's the last page in this journal, but I started a new one because August wasn't finished yet, and that one is in my traveler's notebook, so we will go and have a look. This insert is by Scrap Delight, and because I didn't have any clean inserts anymore, like without something, I used the grid one. I wasn't patient enough to wait until my new ordered one arrived. So yeah, and I changed up my journaling a little bit more. First of all, I played with some dilutions inks to make this page, and I used some stencils and doodling, and I think I want to write here from when to when my journaling in this book is about, in this insert, so that's why it's blank for the rest. Then I made this page. I drew a girl with some weirds, also inspired by Little Raven ink, and a journal box with some doodling around it. Here's some doodling. I used some rub-ons and my journaling with a picture of the day. This page is also with a picture of the day, some rub-ons, a magazine picture, and I made this one with a clear sticker, and then I journaled about the day and doodled something to make the empty spaces nicer. Then I made this one. This was not a nice day for me, and that's why I made this title like this. I had two rub-ons, I combined them in a quote, and I drew this a little bit sad girl, and I drew this eye. I made boxes for my journaling, and these flowers are made like putting some watercolors on watercolor paper and then doodle on top of it and stick them in your journal. Doodle the leaves and then you're done. This also with watercolor. I really love it, how the elements are together, the colors. This page was a tryout. I don't like it, but I had fun making it, so that's the most important thing. I made some collages from magazine pieces, and here I wanted to include this one and find balance, because that's quite important in my life, well, in everyone's life, but in mine particularly. And I included a tip in with some pictures, and I used some acrylic paints to give it a lot of color. And as you can see, I did some journaling over here, and I had space to journal here, but I didn't have enough journaling. So yeah. Then I have the last page of August. I made a video about making your own collage elements, and I got some questions how I was about to use them, and here you can see it. I just popped it in, put some ink around it, and used them as embellishments. I cut it off and put the other one over there. I used this one, and that's what made me think about, okay, make a border with the same kind of pattern, just doodle, and doodling gives a really nice calm in your life. So yeah, I included some scrapbook paper, and on top I put a rub-on, and that's it. I think, yeah, that's from September. So yeah, this is the last video of the mini marathon. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I wanna include a flip through every month, because if I wait until later, I will have a very chunky and long flip through. So yeah, please let me know what you think, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye!